Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. Hello, my gorgeous goddess. Today's episode is episode number 4, and we are talking about emotions. And so from here, I would love to invite you to start breathing. Remember, listen to the intro. It is not about closing the eyes. There is not a specific breath practice kind of a way. Feel free to breathe as you are, where you're at, what you're doing. Just deepen the breath. Just slow it down and deepen it to your comfort. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the nose, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. However, it is most comfortable for you in this moment. I am here to help you get used to your breath, appreciate your breath, learn to love and use your breath. And that means you always adjust the breath to the doing, and you keep your eyes open because it's about integration. It's not a separate thing. It is a part of you being connected, internally aligned, conscious, present as the light, always breathing, always present, always connected through the use of the breath. Good. So from here, relax into your breath. Stay with it. I will keep reminding you as I'm going to go ahead and start talking about the emotions. And I will do a short meditation, a visualization meditation here in the middle toward the end. And before we get going with that, it's very important to talk about emotion, because emotion is something that a lot of women have mixed emotions about, have old perceptions attached to it, have fears around. And even in the previous episode number 3, the body connection, I was talking about being more in relationship with the body, breathing into the body, beginning to feel and communicate with the body. And a lot of resistance can show up here when we are told or suggested to breathe into the body, simply because there's a lot in there. The body stores all of the memory, right? The body stores all of the memory from all the trauma, from all the pain, from any and all of the wounding that we have received in this lifetime that has been unprocessed, as well as all other lifetimes. So when we begin to open the body, when we begin to feel into the body, when we begin to work with the body, what's going to be there? The emotions, the unprocessed emotions, the tucked away, suppressed, stored away, feared, judged emotions. And so it's very important to realize that you as the goddess, you as the light, you have come here to feel. You have come here to heal. You gotta heal it, right? To feel it. You gotta feel it to heal it. And so it's very, very necessary to learn to feel as the light, to learn to feel as the divinity, as the goddess that you really are from within the feminine energy, not letting the thoughts jump into it, not letting the thoughts label it, not letting the thoughts analyze or distract from the feeling process. Thoughts are meant to be thought, emotions are meant to be felt. The feminine energy is the energy through which we heal and feel. Yes? Good. So feeling is definitely a practice. And so as we begin to feel through the storage, as we begin to feel through whatever has been stored and suppressed, the brain is going to want to make sense of it. The brain is it's normal. The brain is going to want to find a reason. The brain and the ego, particularly, is going to want to blame and judge the circumstance or the person that's available, that's around, that we're close to, that we're feeling safe with. Do not let it. This is why mental mastery is going to become very important. More and more so as you deepen into your light alignment, as you deepen into your light embodiment, as you deepen into your goddess. To master your mind is everything, because it requires this mental clarity for you to be able to feel. And here is the key. The emotions are just the surface stuff, the layers that we need to heal through, the wounding that we will move through as we dive through the layers. And yes, they will be there. But the true feeling that we want to get to by diving through the emotions and processing them is the feeling of the intuition, the feeling of the rightness, the feeling of the soul guidance. We need and we must, within this beautiful ascension of earth, within this creation of your new earth, you must feel, and feeling into the body and feeling through the emotions and feeling everything unconditionally is, of course, going to open up the communication. It's going to open up that beautiful, much more subtle communication with your soul through the intuition, through the sensing, through the feeling of rightness. And that communication is, of course, going to get louder and louder. When strong emotions are at play, we can't get to that inner communication, to that intuition, to that inner guidance so easily in those moments. And this is why I always say, if you're not feeling well, don't think. No good thought will come of it. Don't try to get the answer. Don't try to find your intuition. When you're not feeling well, emotions first. Emotions have to come first. Just as a basic practice. Whenever we're feeling, whenever emotions are being stirred up, maybe it's by the moon, maybe it's by the time of the month, maybe it's because your soul is ready to lift and peel and release the next layer, maybe because of a person, maybe because of a situation, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Emotion first. Don't think, focus on the breath, feel into the body, and allow yourself to feel emotion. Because if you really think of yourself as the light and really connect with yourself as that beautiful, divine, infinite light being, that beautiful goddess that you are here to be and embody, you don't judge emotion. You as the light, you have come here to feel. You have come here to heal. You have come here to process and heal it all. Not just this lifetime, but all lifetimes. That's why you're here, first and foremost. Everything else is secondary. Your healing and your illumination of all of your lifetimes has to come first. That is the goddess work. It's not possible to only focus on the external and consider self as goddess, right? This is when the ego will kick in. The ego doesn't want to do the healing. The ego doesn't want to go deeper. The ego doesn't want to give its power off to the soul guidance, to the intuition, right? And so where we'll go, that's where we'll be. We cannot hide. We may try to run, but we cannot hide. I know these are very cliche sayings, but they are cliche for a reason because they're true. The healing is the deepening into the light alignment. The healing is the deepening into the goddess embodiment. Goddess will not embody into a dense and wounded human being that's still in victim mentality, living in the old paradigm consciousness. They may pretend to be goddess. They may feel and think of themselves as goddess because they're a female body, but authentically within, it's all about the inner alignment and how much and how deep have I healed. That's how much the goddess power and the light power and the co-creation will kick in. It's the level of the deepest healing that will show externally. And so just want to talk about wounding for one moment. So wounding, when we consider wounding, it is old energy, right? Let's say just in this lifetime, the wounding that we have experienced is an old energy that is held in place by thought. It's thought that was happening in the moment. It was the perception of that moment in time when the experience happened. Maybe it was betrayal, maybe it was abuse, maybe it was dysfunction of some kind, maybe it was just real heartbreak, whatever it may have been. Whatever the perception in and around that moment was, that is going to be the mental patterning, the mental energy that holds this memory in place, as well as the emotional reaction, the emotional experience, and especially, of course, if it was not processed, if it wasn't dealt with, if it wasn't healed, if it was judged or feared or suppressed or pushed down. That emotional energy is the wounding. That emotional energy is still there. It's still there, held and wrapped around by the mental patterning of that moment. And that's all stored and tucked away and in form of memory within the physical body. So yes, the more we dive into the body, the deeper we form a connection and relationship with our body. Yes, the deeper we will move through and uncover layer after layer of wounding memory. And that will pull through this lifetime as well as through all other lifetimes. And this is why it is so important to not think. See, because the emotional energy that's there, that was suppressed, and it's wrapped around by the mental patterning, the second we feel that emotion, the second that emotion, that memory is triggered, those mental patterns that are wrapping around it, that are holding it in place, are going to activate. And the ego is going to want to make that the truth, make that the, see, this is what happened. This is what we've experienced. Don't you remember? This is the proof of that. Don't do that because then this will happen again. And this is why it is so important to practice mental mastery, because in those moments of strong emotion, of overwhelm, it is absolutely necessary not to think, and only a well-trained mind can be stopped from thinking when strong emotion is at hand. And so the key is to, in that moment, relax into the breath, relax into the truth of who you are. Reminding yourself that, okay, this is emotion. I need to not think. I must focus onto my breath. I'm not going to allow the thoughts to distract from this processing practice. Breathing and feeling into the emotion, breathing and feeling whatever it is. No, don't let the mind, don't let the thoughts jump in. They will try. Don't let them. Just focus all of the attention back onto the breath. Focus all of your focus and attention and commitment to the feeling experience. Use your breath, because you as the light, you don't discriminate. You don't judge emotion. You're here to use the emotion to heal and ascend and embody your goddess. So it's a positive thing when emotions get triggered. It's a positive thing when you are feeling strong emotional experience. And another reason why it is so important to stay out of the thoughts is that the thoughts, the old thoughts, allowing for the old thoughts to attach that meaning, to give reason, to analyze, it is only going to strengthen that mental patterning that is wrapped around the emotion. And the emotion will not get processed, but the mental patterning that's wrapped around it will strengthen. The neurowiring in the brain will strengthen. The old ways of perceiving will strengthen. The old energies will be held in place. And then this emotional state will become more and more and more the norm. And that old mental perception will also become more and more and more of the norm, because we're just deepening it, we're strengthening it, we're confirming it over and over and over again. So we really have to see the mental and the emotional connection. And the key to the healing, which is the only way into your goddess, make no mistake, you've got to give yourself, you've got to surrender to your healing. There's no other way, is by not thinking. So you're loosening up that patterning that's wrapped around the emotional energy, and you're weakening the mental neurowiring in your brain of that old energy. And while you're breathing and feeling, you're now clearing and neutralizing and healing the emotional experience, the emotional storage. That now can clear, as well as you're loosening up and you're neutralizing the mental patterning. And so there is another reason why the same experiences show up over and over and over again. And then I hear people say, but I've already healed that. Why is that coming back? I thought I've already dealt with that. And that's simply because most wounding was already in place from early on in childhood, and then it just kept getting reconfirmed, right, and deepened and strengthened through the years. Strengthened, deepened, strengthened. And so it's layers and layers and layers and layers all the way down into childhood that need to be cleared in the same way. So we just go deeper. It's not that you didn't do the work, it's not that you didn't heal it, but you just healed one layer. And then you have to understand that it'll show up again, it'll become easier and easier and easier to stop the thoughts, commit to the breath, and feel and breathe and be with it and sit with it and walk with it without any thoughts, and letting it all unravel, letting it all clear and neutralize in that way. And then, of course, most of these patterns that are coming up at this time are also themes that run through the soul, through your soul, through other lifetimes. So if you are feeling a lot of betrayal or a lot of fear, those are most likely patterns that are not just unraveling and coming up from this lifetime, but also from other lifetimes. because these patterns run through the soul, through the lifetimes, and are now all being healed through this one incarnation that is you in this moment. Good. So from here, if you are now able to close your eyes, go ahead and do so. If you are busy or driving a car, then please come back to this later. Come back to this later. You can continue with it, but keeping your eyes open. Only come back to it later when you have the peace, when you have the quiet, the space and the time to close your eyes. And from here, as you're closing your eyes, deepen your breath. Deepen your breath. Slow it down. And from here, in your mind's eye, go ahead and let the breath open you into your feminine energy, into your receiving energy, the energy of your goddess. The feminine energy is your light, is your goddess. Yes. Letting all of the thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. Focusing deeper and deeper and slower onto the breath. Taking your time with it. And on the inside, go ahead and visualize, imagine, or make believe that you are your light. That your light, the real you, is flowing in through the higher self, in through the higher chakra space, in through your crown, into and through your physical chakra cord, and out through the first chakra, the base chakra, down into and through your earth grounding cord, all the way down into the centerpiece of Mother Earth, and staying in the breath. Letting this beautiful flow of light begin to fill through your body. Loving this body. Thanking this body. And go ahead and begin to see and sense and feel yourself as the light on the inside. And then if you want to see and sense and feel yourself as the goddess, as your body, goddess, your external, maybe take a visual of how you carry yourself, how you stand, how you look, how you breathe, how you feel, maybe what you wear, right? Connect the external to the internal, graceful, authentically empowered, compassionate, strong, clear, wise, able to foresee and hear as you are connecting back into your inner goddess, into your light flow. Still using the breath as the goddess that you are, as the infinite light that you are. Go ahead and smile at the emotions, at the healing process, at the feeling of it. You as the goddess, you as the light, come from your soul. Looking at it all as this is just a temporary illusion. This is just an experience, and you're here to heal this lifetime and all other lifetimes. And this is golden opportunity. This is exactly why you're here. So come at it with gratitude. Make peace with feeling. Shift your perspective on feeling. Align with your goddess perspective on feeling emotion, because you know that yes, you're going to feel through the emotion and it might be a bit uncomfortable, but the rewards of it are more light, more strength, more power, more access to your light guidance, to your higher self guidance, to your true self alignment, to your light alignment. And then from there, of course, you'll open up your sensory, because the body is the temple through which you sense and read energy, right? Because you as the goddess, go ahead and stay in your light alignment and open yourself, open your body, just visualize it, imagine it. You read energy. As the goddess, you have foresight. You know things, you feel things, you pick up on things. You read energy of people, of places, of things, of a space, right? As a goddess, you know how somebody that you're feeling is doing, even if they are on the other side of the planet. And you as the goddess know all of this is your power. All of this is very important ability. This is your power. These are your tools to really operate as the goddess from the inside out, reading energy like a book through your sensory. In order for your sensory to be sharp, you must feel through any emotion that comes up at any time. Emotion first. And from here, you're still breathing and feeling, still aligned with your light self flowing through you because you are breathing deeply and slowly. Feeling everything is working with energy as the goddess. You have come here to work with the energies of this earthly realm because everything here is made up of energy. Quantum physics is confirming this. And so, of course, you've got to learn to work with your own energy first, right? Yes. Healing and transforming and neutralizing the old energies, the wounding, the disappointments, the sadness, the heartbreak, the betrayal, the loss. Feeling it all with a smile on your face. Feeling it all from the wisdom of your soul, from the wisdom of your goddess, of your light being. And believe me, goddess feels deeply. The more you heal, the more deeply you feel everything. You feel it coming, you just know, you feel everything. But it's all just information. It's not something you take on. It's not something you personalize. It's not something you judge. No, it just happens. You register it, and that's it. It's like closing a book. That's it. Put it away. That's the same with energy. As the goddess, you feel deeply and you feel everything. But first and foremost, you smile at the emotional experience. Emotion first means tending to yourself, means feeling through your body, means grounding, means you being self-loving, self-supporting, self-nurturing, self-caring. You come first. You put yourself in your emotional maintenance, your emotional well-being first as the goddess that you are. Go ahead and smile. Smile at the emotional experience. Do not let the thoughts jump in, and breathe and feel, knowing it's going to flow right through. It's going to heal and release. And if necessary, after the emotion has been processed, you can come back to shifting the perception on the old wounding if the memory comes up as to when and where this happened. The subconscious sometimes will deliver this information in form of an image, in form of a memory. You'll be just like, oh wow, that's the emotional pocket I just healed. That's the emotional pocket I just released. That's the wounding that I just got to clear. And if not, that's fine too. Just keep breathing and feeling emotion first. Good, my wonderful sister. I praise you. I thank you. I encourage you. I support you in your deepening, in your embodiment, in your grace and power. I thank you for joining in on this platform. Mwah, hugs and kisses to you and yours. Feel free to keep your eyes closed and keep breathing and feeling, or if you are ready, open your eyes again. Come back to this visualization meditation as many times as you need to help you breathe and feel if and when triggered. And with all my love, mwah, ciao for now.